Welcome, everyone. This is Everyone Loves Pirates, and this game is Banished. It's a game I have been looking forward to for a very, very long time, for years. I've been watching the development of this game for years. One guy made it all by himself, 3 years. And what it is basically is a combination of a city builder and kind of like, well, it is a city builder, but it's kind of like a combination of like old school SimCity and Dwarf Fortress. So no goals. You can basically build whatever you want. But you also have, instead of just like dropping down industry, residential, commercial, you're designating things to be done. You have all these people who live in the town that go and do them. They have jobs and professions and stuff like that. But it's not as detailed as like Dwarf Fortress, where they have, personalities, and they may not do something, and they go crazy if they don't get booze. And, if their cat dies, they just slaughter everybody. Not quite like that. Much more simple, but I think that's good for this game because it is a very calm game to play. If you ask me, it's really nice. I turn off the music, turn off the UI effects, and you can kind of just get really immersed in what's going on. I really like playing at a low speed, though I probably won't go super slow for this playthrough to show you guys. But hopefully we'll get a nice town going. Now, in my last playthrough, you can actually see it shows your last play, your last save. In the background, this was my first town I tried to do. I've only played this for like maybe a couple hours at most, just trying out different things real quick. But I tried a hard start, and despite the mild winter, they kind of all died. They froze to death because I didn't get any housing. Yeah, like, oh, it's mild. Maybe they'll live through the winter without houses. Nope. So I'm gonna try to redo this town because I like the concept. And the neat thing is there's a map seed. So I haven't tried this before, but I'm gonna put in my seed because I really like that map. So they are procedurally generated. I think that's right. But I don't know if we'll start in the exact same location on the map. I hope we do. It's a small map, valleys, so there's more usable space instead of like a bunch of mountains you can't build on. Climate is mild, though apparently still quite not mild during the winter. It's not the American Southwest, let's put it that way. Disasters are on, and starting conditions are on hard. We'll try it again. Hard game begins with 4 families. A small amount of clothing, food, firewood, and tools are provided. No seeds for farming are available. So let's see. It's kind of cool little town there. Don't see a lot in the way of industry, though. Okay, good. We are starting the same starting place. Look familiar. And this time I'm going to prioritize housing. Hard is hard. Imagine that. I wish these showed up in the exact same place they were before. I have to remove them every time I start the game. Which hopefully doesn't happen a ton, but so far... Okay, so we have our provisions here. Our total amount of provisions. What else would you call it? Inventory, storage. Quick look, just see what is available to people. These are the limits to tell them when to stop doing something because you have enough of it. A map, just you click around and jump around the map if you want. Professions. So everyone's going to start out. We have 8 people who can work, 8 laborers. You can see that up here. We have 8 adults, 6 children. This is the current temperature and weather. I have the weather effects off just so it's easier for you guys to see. And yeah, an event log. This is where you're going to tell me where everyone dies. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Here's all of our people. They say they want houses. And this time, you know what? You might get them. So once again, like Dwarf Fortress, you designate a lot of stuff to happen in this game. So one of the first things we can do is designate to remove resources, basically get things. I'm going to actually... don't want to get anything across the river. So I'm going to have them cut down all these trees and take any stone as well. And my idea for this game, once again, they're rapscallions, they're piratey kind of guys, and they've been banished from this city where they were up to no good. They were trying to dance on Saturday or something, I don't know. But Because of that, I think I'm going to focus mainly on probably fishing and hunting. Even though they're not very good ways of getting food, I think it fits with the theme. They're going to be kind of water-based. So one of the reasons why I really like this map when I first saw it was like, ooh, look at all this area where we can do fishing. All this river that we can fish. You also have over here, we have a nice wooded kind of bowl here. Basin, valley. And the woods are good for hunting. Of course, the deer like to be in the woods, and also gathering, which is the strongest way to get food. And we will do some gathering. The women folk can go gather. Not really. It'll just randomly choose people. But in this time period, women folk can gather. That'll be our theme, and the men can hunt. And I think that'll be good enough. Hopefully, we'll be able to live this time. So I'm gonna let it go. Actually, I'm gonna go up to speed 2. And they're going to head over here and they're going to start knocking this stuff down. We do have this storage cart here, which they'll store things in. And like Dwarf Fortress, we can also designate, these are probably just kids walking around. And we can designate a stockpile. So all this stuff that they cut down is stuff they can bring over here. So we'll get them doing that. Another thing I want to do is get a bridge going pretty quickly so we can get our fishing set up on this side of the river. Bridges do take wood and stone, but not a ton of it, as long as it's nice and short. So we'll designate that bridge. We don't have any builders right now, so no one's going to build it. I'm going to let everyone kind of gather resources first, and then we'll get them going. Now, the interesting thing about housing is, let's say you build a house. A family's going to move in, and then they're going to go to the main storage area, and they're going to take as much food as they can to basically just pile it up in their house from floor to ceiling. And they'll never share that food. So everyone else now has less food that they can do. They can't go to that person's house and take some. So I think with the small amount of food that we started with, if we quickly build 4 houses, let's think about this. If we quickly build 4 houses, they're all going to run and get food, and we probably will have enough for them all to have food in their house. The problem is, as food goes down, we may end up with a house that has no food in it at all, and that would be bad. So my thought process before, and I think I'm going to try it this time, as I was kind of freaking out and winter was coming, was, we can build, instead of a house for every family, we can build a boarding house. Which provides a temporary place for homeless to live. And this will basically, I don't really know how it works, I haven't done it yet, but my assumption is they either share all the food in the boarding house, or they don't get any food, they don't put any food in the house, and they just go to the storage area to eat. And for me, that sounds like a good way to, the stockpile's going to be in the way. It seems like a good way to maybe deal with that food issue. And they're pirates. I mean, they shouldn't all have their own house. They're used to living together on a boat. So, I don't know. I think it sounds fun to me. I've never seen anyone else do it. I watched a little bit of Let's Plays before the game came out, just to get an idea of what was going on. So let's do that. I'm going to get rid of this stockpile. Yeah. So anytime, like if I tell them to remove the stockpile or remove this storage cart, they can't use anything that's in it until it's removed. It's basically, useless. Which is a shame, because this is right in the middle of some of the area I want to work at. Okay, I'm going to give us 1 builder now. You can go work on that bridge, and eventually the boarding house. Right, 5 speed for now, just let them clear this stuff off. I've never actually managed to get anything removed because it takes so long. Let's try another little stockpile. As I'm complaining about never being able to get rid of them, where is it there? I'm going to make more of them, apparently. Oh, okay, so there is a priority tab. Let's try prioritizing removing that. Nice! Very good. That's how you do it. Okay, So, what this time right away, I focused on food and other things last time. This time, let's get this boarding house up. Actually, we also need a storage barn. I'm not going to make this right away, but I want to kind of figure out where I want it first. So these arrows in front are where they can access it from. Which actually makes me think maybe I should turn it. Yeah. Just fishing. Okay, so let's once again. I kind of want to look. Just kind of getting things set up. So we have this road here. Build a fishing guy there. Pause that, so that they won't actually build it. But at least this way I can see where I can kind of get things figured out. We do one there. Then we have that and that. No overlap. And lots of water. Assuming that gives you more fish. Now because of that, we can put a house. Once again, I'm not going to build it, but put a house next to this. And what might we want over here? Trade. I haven't done a trading post before. I haven't got even remotely close to being able to do a trading post. Okay, so unfortunately you can't go there. Actually, it could. Nope. Looking a little tiny red thing up there. It could go there though if the bridge was there. We can move the bridge down more. Seems smart. Of course, we could always just have it right here. It seems to me, I don't know, it seems like there wouldn't be any room for boats to go by, but I'm sure they can, right? Sure, why not? Okay. Make sure everything's paused. This way we can get a little layout. So in that case, we do have room for a house. Probably end up with a house here. House there, then we'll have room for the barn, which I managed to make last time. Everyone died, but they had a storage barn to store nothing in. I kind of feel like that's got to be the most efficient way, instead of that way, where they only have one entrance to use. This way they can kind of just go path right through it. Yeah, okay. Good. Okay, so with that there, then we can figure out where we can put our storage, our boarding house. I like to leave room so they can walk in between the buildings. Okay, and that one we're actually going to build. Now it requires 100 logs and 45 stone. We're not quite there yet. So let's collect some stone from here. I think we're still collecting a little bit there. And some trees from here. I will get you houses this time. You will not freeze to death. You might starve to death. There's a very good chance of that, but you won't freeze to death, I promise. Of course, we really need to work on the logs, yeah, I know. So let's also harvest these trees. And I'll do another little stockpile over here. And let's also prioritize this. I'm gonna give us one more builder. Another thing we're going to want at some point is the market. So everyone comes here to get stuff. So this ring determines the houses within this ring will come to the market to get supplies instead of maybe going to the direct, you know, where the supplies are created to get them. So with that in mind, I'm trying to think ahead of where my people are going to be. We might end up moving a little further south. I'm also thinking, where do I want to put some of the other things we're going to have to get going? Such as a woodcutter to cut the wood. I wonder if this is more efficient than building a bunch of houses. I actually don't know how many families can live in this. I'm hoping 4. There's got to be at least 4 that live in here. Okay. Pause that. 1, I was prioritizing that, by the way. 2, apparently I forgot to pause that. However, if you guys are insisting on working, the fishing dock would be excellent. But now we're not going to have... Okay, we do have all the materials here. This needs to be built. So extra materials can go there. Okay, let's grab all this stone, too. And those trees. So we waste a little stone and wood over there. That's okay. So the next thing we are probably going to need is the woodcutter. I might have built that a little too far up. It's gonna bug me a little bit. I'm definitely not gonna bring it down now. I'd rather move all this stuff. And I might. Okay, woodcutter. So actually, let's look at this. So eventually what we're going to have is Forster's Lodge. So you guys cut down the trees and also plant new ones so that you don't end up running out of trees, clear cutting. So I think he'll probably go somewhere around here. Yay! Okay, so everyone has a house now. If we look at the inventory, yeah, so the food will be in here, the firewood will be in here. I think this will be good. I think that was a wise move. We'll find out though. And okay, so we have this here, and we'll want to get the gathering hut definitely going. Food, gathering hut. Now this is going to be a long way for these guys to go at first, but eventually they'll have their own little houses over here. And yeah, good. So we got a little food going. We are going to want to bump up the firewood. How much firewood do we have? Okay, so we have 0 stored. It's just whatever's in here. 75. Which actually I think might be enough for these guys to get through the winter. I want the storage barn. I don't think I need it. I think it's more important to get the food going and the wood cutting going. I would love to get rid of this. Okay, so resource production, firewood. I don't want to encroach on this any more than I have to. Let's see, let's cut these trees. Then let's put... Eventually it's not really going to matter. Oops. Sorry, this is the unfun part, me trying to think of how I want things laid out. Trying to imagine where things are gonna end up. My trade. Something like that. So okay, let's do is that enough room? Back to market. Oh, actually, that's perfect. Okay, and I can determine how high up I want it later. Might end up being something like that. Cool. Okay. It's more important. Probably the food. They're gonna run. Oh, they're gonna cut all that stuff down, but they're gonna run over here and clear room for that stuff that's gonna be built. The gather stuff. I'm gonna hang out with these here. Unfortunately, that was kind of stupid. I should put a little tiny resource pile there because they just took it all the way over there, and now they're going to bring it all the way back. The wood that they need to build this. We have enough stone. We have enough wood. Barely. Okay, and we do have room for a fisherman now, so I'm going to assign one fisherman. It just pulls it from the laborer's pool. When he's not doing anything, he will also labor. So I'm going to take two, since we don't have the gatherers up later. I might move one of them over to gathering. I don't know, food is very important. But we also need enough laborers to get stuff accomplished. In fact, I wish, like in Dwarf Fortress, there was a little idler thing that told you when people weren't doing anything. So I don't think any of the laborers are doing anything right now because they have nothing to do. So let's have them gather resources down here. Really, we can clear this out as well. Which is actually closer. But whatever, they can choose where they want to go to do it. It's not cold yet. It is early autumn, so they will eventually. It might be dangerous for them to walk really far in the snow. Gatherer's hut is almost complete. Let's add 2 gatherers. We'll immediately go get a sign there. So that'll get us a little more food. With that in mind, let's get this going, the woodcutter. Because they might get cold. How much firewood do we have? 96. So they're already burning the firewood. Leave them collecting wood. Wood is the most important right now. Prioritize this. Point of gathering the wood, besides being able to build stuff, is so that the woodcutter will have wood to make firewood out of. So, like, honestly, you know, obviously it would be just ridiculous for a Let's Play that people can watch online, but I really find this just soothing. You can watch them do their thing. You have the little deer. Very idyllic. Even Speed 2. Speed 2 is probably more what I would actually play at. But this early in the life of this town, when there's not a whole lot going on, getting real close. I'm used to CK2 where you scroll with the middle mouse wheel. You can also change the angle at what we view. You use WASD to move around. Little X's are showing what's, I guess they're hammer and sickle deals, but axe and pick deals. Showing what's designated to be done. Nice smoke. So nice. Good. So we do have a woodcutter now, or we have the thing. I'm gonna assign 1 woodcutter. We are down to 2 laborers. But that should be good for now. So this guy's going to use up all the wood to make firewood. Up to a limit of 200. And we can change that. We can take it to 100. So as to have wood to build with still. Which is probably a good idea since we don't have a whole lot of families. They're not going to use up all the firewood. And let's think about the next thing we want to build. The storage barn's going to take... Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. Let's get the storage barn going. So I'd really like to get rid of this. There's hardly anything in here. This is going much better than the last playthrough. So what we have is we got a boarding house, which I think worked out great. Now they're never going to, our population won't go up while they're in a boarding house. They need their own houses to, they need actually extra houses to expand and have families and to grow. But this got us through the first winter quite nicely. I do like that. And if we ever want to allow more people into our town, it's a good place for overflow, migrants and such. Yeah, so we got our housing situated before winter, which is great. We do have food production. It's not going to be great right out the bat, but we still have some food. Actually, we have plenty of food for 4 families. It's quite good. Decent little variety as well. So both fish and roots and stuff, mushrooms. And yeah, and we got someone making firewood. I mean, really, we've got this town to a place where it could just exist, but it wouldn't grow. And I think that's a great place to end this first episode. So thank you all for watching. I do appreciate your viewership. I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know what you'd like to see, if anything. And I will see you all next episode. Bye.